All right, guys, thanks for joining me today as we are going to take a look at the Pokemon market in 2022 and also investing in Pokemon in 2022. And am I bullish or bearish in this current market? So, guys, if you're new here, hit that subscribe, hit that notify, and of course, hit that like button. We got 75 likes in this video. It'd be greatly appreciated. Also helps us out a ton. And of course, it's free for you. So be sure you hit that button before you leave. Also, just as a friendly reminder, we have our box break coming up here on Saturday at 9 p.m. Central Time. So if you're interested in joining that, of course, I have a list of the packs available this time down below me. If you want to join in and grab some of those, definitely do that. Be fun to have you in on this, just to see what we can get you. Also, if you just want to come in and join and just watch and see what gets pulled, and then also do maybe a Q&A while we're doing it, of course, that availability is there. Also, I do answer questions all through the live, and we have some fun and just relax. So if you're interested in doing that, definitely join us on Saturday. If you want to get some packs and take your chances at some pulls, definitely purchase those here. We will also, if anybody gets purchased on Saturday up until we close it out, we'll do those also just to keep moving along and have some fun. So other than that, we're going to get right into the discussion today, which of course, what are we seeing currently in the Pokemon market right now in June of 2022? Well, currently we are seeing a little bit of more of that shift where we're seeing sealed product continuing to kind of decrease in sales. The sales are a little bit slower. Definitely at my end of things, I'm not seeing them sealed products moving as faster and not as fast. And I'm attributing that to the fact that people are no longer wanting to chase these hard to get cards and are just going out and purchasing them. And I'll tell you why I think that in a minute. But in general, I'm seeing a lot of these sealed products slowing in sales. I'm not selling as many of them. They're a lot slower to move through. They kind of linger sometimes. Some of the products that you thought would have done extremely well or even are still holding on a market price don't seem to be having the sales per day that we were previously in the last 2 months. So there's a lot of reasons that this could be. Number one reason is pull rates. People are getting tired of opening tons of product to try and get one chase card out of a big set. The other part of it is that the macro economy in general is making it so it's very expensive to be able to purchase these items and do that opening and try and find that chase card. And so that brings me to the other side of it, which of course is singles. Now, what are we seeing on singles side of things? We're seeing some really good sales. I'm going to be honest with you, and it's kind of going give and take. We're seeing some really good buys. I'm able to purchase collections. People are leaving the hobby on one end of things. People that were really invested into it and had a lot of money into it have decided that, hey, it's time for me to move on. I'm not seeing the income. I'm not seeing these 6 month to 1 year turnarounds that I was before. And I'm just trying to sell out everything. It's time to call it quits. You know, Pokemon was fun, but I'm just losing interest in it, or my son's losing, or my kid's losing interest in it. And they're just kind of moving on to the different aspects, new things, and branching out into other stuff and getting out of it. So you're seeing these sales come up for sale on sites like Craigslist and local Facebook pages, Facebook Marketplace and that, where people are selling large collections of Pokemon cards at a very reasonable price. Now, one thing I will say about collections, the 2 collections I have found some fake cards in there. Once again, do your due diligence when you're purchasing these collections. They were big enough of collections that it didn't affect me very much, and there weren't very many. But if you were buying a collection and you were counting on those cards being the main driving force for purchasing those collections, they could have definitely hurt me if I was doing that, which I don't. But definitely one of those things to watch out for, guys. Fakes are going to be in these packs, inside of these collections. It always happens. It's happened since the beginning of time, and you just need to realize how to see these, especially when it comes to the newer rainbow rares and gold cards. Definitely watch for texturing, and definitely watch for the back colorations, and also just the small details of the print and everything can really stand out as a problem. So what are we seeing in general then when it comes down to it? I'm able to sell things really well on TCG Player. I'm seeing the number of sales per day on a lot of these cards go up and up and up. I'm seeing some really good sales and movements on TCG Player. So I'm able to buy some of these collections that might have some of the items that I'm looking at that are in there that are, selling really, really quickly. But on the other end, I can actually take these collections, and if there's some things that I want to be investing in Pokemon, I can keep those in my investment pile too, and be able to make up that money where I don't tie up my money into that investment and be able to continue to go on to the next one. So we're definitely getting some opportunities on that end with people leaving, good sales of singles on TCG Player, especially chase cards. Chase cards are going extremely well. Tournament cards, as always, when we have actual tournament play, is moving extremely well also. So we're seeing some really good variation and movement there. The other thing is that I'm going to remind every one of my viewers with the current macro economy to make sure that you're doing a budget. Budget. I know you're going to hate me. Once again, I always say this in my videos. I haven't said it for 2 months, but if you haven't done it in the last 2 months, go back and do a budget. Make sure that you're checking your fuel expenses, your food expenses, your everyday needs like your toothpaste and all that. All of these items are going up in price. So definitely check your budgets. Make sure that you're doing whatever you're putting in the Pokemon is expendable. Don't make the mistake of thinking it's expendable money. You haven't done your budget in 2 months and you're actually eating into your household income and your household expenses, and you need to sell these items quickly, because if you need to sell Pokemon items quickly right now, not an easy task. A lot of these items are becoming a lot more solid, especially in the sealed product market. They're not getting the sales per day, which means it's going to be a lot harder to get your money back out of those items without potentially taking a loss on these items in order to get rid of them. And you don't want to put yourself in that position, especially in the current market. You're better off taking these items and taking your time and being sure that you have your opportunity to sell them when the markets recover, or when the overall economy in the United States becomes more stable, or in your own country as they become more stable, to be able to sell them then on your terms and not on a because I need the money terms. So just a reminder, once again, guys, be sure your budget. It's a huge thing that you need to watch when you're using your expendable money in this hobby, which I hope that you are. You that should be where you're at right now. If you're watching this channel or watching a lot of these investment channels, use your expendable money. Don't be using credit cards. Don't be using your family's money. Don't be gambling your rent on this. Use what you have as extra money. I'm backing down right now because I just don't have it. It's going into my food bill for the kids, and it's going into my gas tank. So my Pokemon budget is slowly dwindling, and I'm going back to what I've built up in my war chest over the last 2 years. So just a PSA inside of this video, be sure that you do that. Next thing I want to go over too is, am I being bullish or bearish in this current market? Am I being the type of person that's currently just completely backing out and thinking that the Pokemon market's going to die? Or am I a person that's jumping in and going after stuff? And the truth of the matter is that I am still going after things. I am not taking as much expendable money out of my family unit and putting into it, but I am using the money that I've built in my account for the Pokemon TCG to continue doing what I've been doing and make sure that I have that money in hand and working it how it should. So I'm going to bring up something here. We purchased these, which were 20 Rainbow Rares on Macari. Now, why do I bring these up? Because everybody's thinking, oh, they're just Rainbow Rares. I purchased these Rainbow Rares for $78. 20 Rainbow Rares for $78. Now, I went through and figured out the value of these cards. Regardless, when I purchased them, I purchased them quick because it wasn't listed very long, and I didn't want to risk losing 20 of these cards. So I went through afterwards because I figured even if they averaged out $4 a piece for 20 cards, I'm still going to break even on the deal, and they could be a long-term investment. But after going through them, I have $183 worth of cards here. That's a fantastic buy, and I'm seeing more of these buying opportunities out there. Now, with what I have inside of this, I might just put these into long-term investment storage. I think that there's some great opportunities with these, especially the Pokemon when it comes down to Rainbow Rares. So I'm going to put it right next to me here. You can see what I purchased it for with the cost. It was $74 for the cards, and it was $372 for the shipping. So that's what I paid. And I'm just going to be one. I just want to show that to you guys, that there are these opportunities out there, and they're great opportunities to be able to definitely get in and do this. Now, these are the areas that I'm being a little bit more bullish in. I'm seeing some great opportunities on these singles continually popping up and being able to get these for my long-term investment. Some of the cards that I've been watching as chase cards are now starting to come down in price. And when people selling full collections, there's definitely those opportunities to jump in, buy that collection with the card that you've been chasing, and be able to sell that collection with keeping the card that you've been looking for, especially with these alternate arts. So once again, guys, there are some opportunities when it comes to sealed. I'm tending to, I don't want to say I'm being bearish because I'm still buying or looking at some good priced items. I'm being very, very selective on what I purchase. So I'm purchasing things that I, by my basics and by my just me being conservative, I'm purchasing items that I feel are very conservative items and will give me the best protection in the long run, especially over investments. They tend to do extremely well over time. Of course, booster boxes, ETBs, figurine collections. Still looking at exclusive boxes, especially as Pokemon Go is coming out here. There might be some more opportunity at some Pokemon exclusives coming out then. So those are definitely the sealed products that I'm looking at. I'm starting to back away a lot from tins and the standard V boxes and kind of those collection boxes like the Morpeko boxes and the Cleaver boxes. I'm backing away from those quite a bit just because the multi-packs and all the other issues that comes up with the storage on those, definitely they don't usually perform as well as some of the other items out there. So definitely becoming a little bit more selective, but when I'm being selective, I'm really bearish on the items that I choose to go after. And same thing with the singles. I've been very bullish in the singles market and definitely pushing through to get what I want out of there and definitely working through all the different things that are going on. So these are the things that I just want to discuss today when it comes down to the Pokemon market, when you're looking at your Pokemon business and also your Pokemon investments in 2022. These are the things that we really need to be watching. Watch your budget. Be sure that you're watching the markets right now. We're seeing a big switch to the singles. As I've said several times, it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. More and more is pushing into that market. And that's just where you may want to be looking at when you're coming down to it. So once again, guys, hopefully I brought you some good information today. Hopefully that this was helpful and hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you do, of course, hit that subscribe, hit that notify. Last but not least, hit that like button. We get 75 likes in this video. It's greatly appreciated. Helps us out a ton. And once again, it's free for you. If this information was good for you, as always, I will put up these two videos up here for you for your information and education afterwards. And we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.